Hello, Professor Morgan. This is Nathan Johnson at California Baptist University reporting in for my critical assignment in data communication needs for NAM 480. Networking technologies are things like local area networks that are networks of connected devices, and wide area networks, which can be even larger than LANs to cover incredible amounts of locations in networking possibilities. Some other networking technologies are things like the packet, the fundamental unit of data transmitted over the internet. When a device intends to send a message to another device, it breaks the message down into smaller pieces, called packets. Packet switching, when a packet is sent from one device out over the internet, it does not follow a straight path to its destination. Instead, it is passed from one router to another across the internet until it reaches its destination. A router is a device that receives and analyzes packets and then routes them towards their destination. In some cases, a router will send a packet to another router. In other cases, it will send it directly to its destination. A switch, a network device that connects multiple devices together and filters packets based on their destination within the connected devices. VLAN resistance. Voice over Internet Protocol and unified communications require VLAN's layered security and other network techniques to ensure the timely delivery of Internet Protocol packets. VLANs make it easy for network administrators to partition a single switched network to match the functional and security requirements of their system without having to run new cables or make major changes in their current network infrastructure. VLANs are also important because they can help improve the overall performance of a network by grouping together devices that communicate most frequently. VLANs also provide security on larger networks by allowing a higher degree of control over which devices have access to each other. Networking protocols. Transmission Control Protocol, TCP/IP, specifies how data is exchanged over the internet by providing end-to-end communications that identify how it should be broken into packets, addressed, transmitted, routed, and received at the destination. User Datagram Protocol, UDP, is an alternative communications protocol to Transmissions Control Protocol, used primarily for establishing low latency and loss tolerating connections. When to use TCP versus UDP protocols. Typically, use UDP in applications where speed is more critical than reliability. In general, TCP is for high reliability data transmissions. UDP is for low overhead transmissions. Network security methodologies. Use encryption on wireless access points. Make sure to hide a network's service set identifier. Disable access from the outside network to web management interfaces. Make sure all workstations utilize malware and antivirus software. Network security. Scan regularly for exploits against current network operations. Utilize a virtual private network or VPN for access to the local area network. Not every workstation will need to have file sharing or print sharing set up. That will limit broadcasting among devices. Using offsite backups to keep important information redundancy. If a main site goes down, there will be available information to continue doing business overall. Voice over Internet Protocol. Businesses need to consider many options when trying to decide on a phone system. One of the biggest considerations should be reliability. It is very important that a phone system work every time that an employee tries to make a phone call or goes in for video conferencing. If the system goes down for half an hour or an hour, that can shut down critical cells or meetings that would be imperative for business operations. VoIP uses packet switching rather than circuit switching. Instead of leaving an entire circuit open during the whole conversation, it breaks the conversation into smaller packets of data. It then transmits that data over the internet. Some advantages are lower costs, increased accessibility, portability, scalability, advanced features, and higher flexibility overall in the system for communications in that organization. Session Initiation Protocol, or SIP, is a signaling protocol used for initiating, maintaining, modifying, and terminating real-time sessions that involve video, voice, messaging, and other communication applications and services between two or more endpoints on Internet Protocol networks. Benefits of SIP are cost savings, mobility, and network consolidation. Unified Communications. Unified communications are multiple technologies brought together to create ease of access. A UC can include instant messaging, telephones, video conferencing, and many more technologies. A solid UC implementation involves automation to identify the best target and medium to use when a person or application needs to communicate. A UC can dramatically reduce the time spent searching for a person to answer a critical question. FCAPS: Fault Management, Configuration, Administration, Performance Management, and Security Management. The goal of fault management is to use it to detect faults and correct them to protect the network. Configuration management utilizes the process of ensuring that changes to the network are evaluated properly and documented. Administration means that an administrator will track the network's resources in the organization more often will be used for billing. Performance will be used to make sure the network is running on par with what is expected and even top reliability. Using security management will help ensure confidentiality, integrity, and availability in the network implemented. To conclude, network technologies can be used to help an organization gain remote access, file sharing, and utilized for communication needs. Using a VLAN can provide security on larger networks by allowing a higher degree of control over which devices have access to each other. In general, TCP is for high reliability data transmissions, and UDP is for low overhead transmissions. Network security: use encryption on wireless access points, make sure to hide a network service set identifier, disable access from the outside network to web management interface, make sure all workstations utilize malware and antivirus software. Voice over Internet Protocol uses packet switching rather than circuit switching. Instead of leaving an entire circuit open during the whole conversation, it breaks the conversation into small packets of data. It then transmits that data over the internet. Some advantages are lower cost, increased accessibility, portability, scalability, advanced features, and higher flexibility. Benefits of SIP are cost savings, mobility, and network consolidation. A solid UC implementation involves automation to identify the best target and medium to use when a person or application needs to communicate. FCAPS: Fault Management, Configuration Management, Administration Management, Performance Management, and Security Management. Thank you very much for your time, and I hope this has been more than insightful on data communication needs for a business and organization.